I know this is just a regular house. Like, there's nothing special to this house. And then the specialness happens, and I'm there. And I know I gotta leave. But I ain't gotta leave before I see who comes. Because that's my job as a reporter to the people. And I said, coming in, that's what I was going to do. I was going to be unbiased.
In relation to Jay-Z, it says in approximately 1996, Redacted resided with Redacted in Redacted. An unknown man abducted her from her home when she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, stage name Jay-Z.
That's the thing. That's not a simple conversation, and it's not an easy conversation to have, because I fell for the same crap that everybody else fell for. And when you are adjacent to, or, traveling in the same circles as the person that's been selected to be this icon, because let's just be very clear.
Katt Williams has built a reputation for saying what others won't. And when he warned that 2024 would be a year of exposure, many dismissed it as just another bold soundbite. But after recent developments placed Jay-Z's name in certain controversial files, those old clips started resurfacing with new intensity. To be clear, being mentioned in documents doesn't automatically imply wrongdoing, and reports suggest the references stem from older, unverified tips. Still, the internet rarely waits for full context. Once Jay-Z's name entered the broader conversation, alongside mentions of Pusha T, social media exploded, with fans dissecting timelines, collaborations, and past connections, trying to make sense of how these major figures ended up linked in the same narrative.
If you want to do the simplest part possible, you can find the Epstein files. If you got Google, you can find the Epstein files.
Yeah, if you Google Jeffrey Epstein files DOJ, it will bring you up to a page. You have to be over 18 years old to look through. I would say, sensitive material in there, triggering material for a lot of people who may have been through similar things. So approach with caution. But what you get is a page where you can keyword search terms. Now, if you go in there and you keyword search Sean Carter, you will find the inclusion, which is the real name for Jay-Z, of Jay-Z in the Epstein files. Now, you've just covered how wide-ranging they are, Sean. But I'm going to read out what is in there when you search up Sean Carter, okay? So I'm going to read out what is in there, and it says date time received 7th of October 2019 at 8:20 in the morning. It says, in approximately 1994, Redacted revealed herself to Redacted as a past victim of sexual abuse by Epstein. Redacted described the abuse occurred during parties. The next section is Redacted, further identifies a few other redacted names. Now, in relation to Jay-Z, it says in approximately 1996, Redacted resided with Redacted in Redacted. An unknown man abducted her from her home when she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, stage name Jay-Z. While Weinstein had inserted his fingers into Redacted, Redacted believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. So that is the specific reference to Jay-Z.
As the speculation kept building, Jaguar Wright stepped back into the spotlight. She's long claimed she witnessed troubling dynamics behind the scenes of the music industry, and when Jay-Z's name started trending again, she didn't hold back. In recent commentary, she pointed to artists who were very young when they first entered the business and crossed paths with powerful executives, mentioning names like Aaliyah, Foxy Brown, and Beyoncé, and questioning how young they were during key moments in their careers. It's important to stress that these remarks are not supported by new legal findings. They remain part of ongoing online debate and long-circulating rumors. Still, once Jaguar publicly connected those dots, social media did exactly what it always does. It started digging, screenshotting, and pulling every receipt it could find.
Jag, with Jay-Z and his situation, as far as the early Jay-Z, you see him with Aaliyah, young, of course, goes to Dame Dash next. You see him with Foxy Brown. You see the maturation of Beyonce and him getting with Beyonce. You see Rihanna at a young age. Is it more so, and you were young as a singer, is it more so that, when you're in this industry, men are going to most likely talk and date their peers? And it's just that technically all the new rising stars at that time
Are babies.
were just young women, just young kids.
Babies.
Babies.
Being ran around by grown men. babies. I got offered my first record deal when I was 13 years old. I got offered another one when I was 15. I'm so grateful that my father said no. I ended up not signing a record deal until I was in my early 20s. And as young as that is, looking back now, at least I was a legal adult. Most of these girls, they get moved around and touched around very early on. And you know, and the people that have control of everything are untouchable. So how do you argue with that? How do you argue with that? Imagine a teenage girl in a office alone with someone that says either you're going to sign this contract or you're going to go out the window. Like, even as a joke, that's not cool. With no lawyer there to look over the contract. No one. Just you and this adult. You're not even a citizen of the country you're in.
Yeah, you said your father was stepped in. Do you put a lot of blame on the parents of artists who aren't there in the rooms where?
No disrespect, but parents who turn their kids over to this industry, yeah, nah. I don't want to seem judgmental, but they seem to be more concerned with the wealth that comes along with and the privilege that comes along with and what's actually going to happen to their child. And it's funny because a lot of them, they're just in absolute complete denial. They don't even want to believe, you know, that they signed their kids up for this. Oh, well, they promised me this and they promised me that. Yeah. Strangers promised you. Ooh, then that means something.
Yeah, there's a viral video of
It
Rihanna
is
winning
what it
her.
is, man. Like, that's why I said, like, I'm bored. I'm so bored. I'm so bored with people pretending to be shocked and outraged. I'm so tired of people calling people like me a liar.
If Jaguar Wright intensified the conversation, Nicki Minaj sent it into overdrive. Without always naming Jay-Z directly, her explosive posts about rituals, power, and industry corruption made it clear who many believed she was referencing. There's no verified evidence supporting the extreme claims she mentioned, and some interpreted her words as metaphorical or tied to broader frustrations within the industry. Still, once those posts went live, the reaction was immediate. Screenshots circulated, media outlets reported on it, and the debate spread rapidly across social platforms.
But hey, that's what it is.
There was a video
I
of.
just sit back and say, how illuminated.
There was a video of Rihanna winning an award, and she was thanking her parents. And Jay-Z, he stepped in and said, "Nah, she means to thank me." And he was being very overly aggressive. And you look at Rihanna's age at that time. You look at him. How much does power and influence, even for you? You were backstage, saw him cry, unplugged. How much does power and influence come to those?
I was also a grown woman and I was pregnant and married. She was a kid. She was a kid. Yeah, I remember that. But you need to thank me. That's kind of ballsy, isn't it?
When you look back at it, hypothetically, Jay-Z leaves the country right now. He goes Russell Simmons.
He could.
Yeah.
He could do that.
He's a quiet man regardless, so it doesn't quite matter if he's here or not.
I mean, Jack, did he leave the country? Because that's what everybody's saying.
That's what everybody's saying, but you know what? Who knows? The truth is, he should be here this weekend.
What well, first of all, where did your issue, if you don't mind just being candid with us, where did your issues arise with Jay-Z after the MTV Unplugged performance? Uh, Take us through that history, if you don't mind, as far as where did it
That's the
go left?
thing. That's the thing. That's not a simple conversation, and it's not an easy conversation to have because I fell for the same crap that everybody else fell for. And when you are adjacent to or, you know, traveling in the same circles as the person that's been selected to be this icon, because let's just be very clear, he was selected, just like Diddy was selected. Question is by who? Now, for many years, I minded my business about a lot of things, but a lot of things came to me. I heard a lot of things. You got to remember, this was back when I was still trying to be amicable with the industry so that I could have my career, so that I could have my life, right? Everything that I worked for, everything that I sacrificed. Up until what? 2016, 2017, I was still ignoring a lot of things. A lot of things. It wasn't until I couldn't ignore it anymore because I realized this ain't going nowhere. And then when I started seeing exactly how dangerous things had become, it was very simple. It's either you're going to speak up or they're going to keep getting away with it, or you're going to get handled up on regardless because you're not playing along the way you should be playing along. Like that's how this works. Like the people that get rewarded are the people that keep the secrets, the people that are quiet, and the people that lie for them. The people who get a pass are the people who pretend that like they don't know what's going on. And then the people that speak up are the people that, you know, get persecuted, get framed, get trashed, you know, are forced to go broke, you know, that kind of. So yeah, like I cannot say that it was an overnight process. I was hoping. See, I was always so quick to just blame, you know, all of the harm and just the terrible in the industry on Diddy. I wasn't really willing to accept the fact that they were working together, which is why I find it so funny that people, you know, really just didn't call bullshit a little bit louder when Alex Spiro came forward talking about they were never friends, they were never close, they were never this, they were never that. You know, I wonder when Spiro's gonna come forward and do another PowerPoint breakup to say that Jay-Z was never friends with Harvey. Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. Now that all of the videos of him calling Jay-Z his friend and sticking up for him, like that's what I'm saying. I wish I could say that there was a specific thing that happened.
What makes this moment feel even more volatile is how closely it mirrors a past episode. During an earlier lawsuit tied to Diddy, Jay-Z's name briefly entered public conversation. At first, there was silence. Speculation online escalated quickly. Then legal representatives stepped in and the noise slowly faded. That sequence is shaping how people are reading the current situation. Some expect the same pattern: quiet strategy, legal response, then cooling headlines. Others argue this time feels different, pointing to a more skeptical and aggressive online climate that doesn't let stories fade so easily.
Now accused of a 13-year-old girl in 2000 along with Sean Diddy Combs. Now, this lawsuit was originally filed back in October in the Southern District of New York, listing Diddy as the defendant. But it was just refiled today to include Jay-Z now, whose real name is Sean Carter. Of course, he's the husband of Beyonce. The anonymous accuser alleging the assault occurred after she was driven to an after party following the MTV Video Music Awards. The suit says she was offered a drink that made her feel, quote, woozy, lightheaded, and felt like she needed to lie down. Shortly after, the suit claims Jay-Z and Diddy entered the room where she was resting, eventually sexually assaulting her. And now, just in the last hour, we are hearing from Jay-Z and his team of lawyers. They are denying the claim and say that they are the victims of blackmail, saying, quote, I will not give you one red penny, and my only heartbreak is for my family. Joining us now to break this all down as it's happening, News Nation Law and Justice contributor, former FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffendorfer. Jennifer, thanks for staying with us on this.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And so we just received a response from the victim's lawyer, really just in the last few minutes. Take a look. This is on social media. A lawyer, Tony Busby, saying Jay-Z has, quote, tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff, but his conduct has had the opposite impact. He goes on to say that the allegations speak for themselves and he will let the facts come out in court, not in the media. What do you make of this real-time back and forth that we're seeing between these two parties tonight?
Well, it is interesting. And I think it's because Jay-Z came out so strongly and said, listen, I'm going to go after you. And then he filed a suit quickly on the heels of the other suit against Busby and the accusers. So because of that, you're seeing this taunting sort of back and forth in the media.
Do you believe that we may see Jay-Z face a judge? And if so, when would we see him in court? Any indication there yet?
Well, we're definitely going to see him, I believe, on this suit. There are so many details. You know, they describe a house, a driveway, another woman being there. They discuss about a driver taking her. So she's locked into this story now, and that means there could be additional witnesses to corroborate her story or refute the story.
Yeah, I know you've mentioned the specificity of the details really stand out to you in this filing. Do you find it strange that the filing originally did not include Jay-Z, just Diddy, and now Jay-Z is suddenly added today? I mean, does that make Jay-Z's addition in any way less credible, or is this not, in fact, so unusual?
It's not unusual when they're still digging up information and facts to prove the allegations that they're trying to make. In addition, remember, this 13-year-old says there's a female there. That has not been disclosed either. That will be very interesting because she could be culpable in this as well.
Yeah, that is interesting. Do you expect we are going to be seeing other celebrity names added and refiled in other lawsuits involving Diddy?
I do. I think this really has a web that wraps around many different people, and I think we're going to see a lot more people named.
Tell me more about the details of any potential blackmail. We do see Jay-Z and his team really coming out swinging, making that allegation. Wouldn't that be a fairly easy allegation to prove? I mean, if in fact Busby reached out trying to blackmail him, wouldn't they have the receipts for that?
Well, what happened was Busby reached out and offered a mediation session, said that his client was amenable to that. I think that is what Jay-Z is sort of extrapolating as being some sort of, extortion or bribery situation. And really, that shouldn't be seen in that light.
Jennifer Coffendorfer, I know we'll be tracking this. Appreciate your time tonight, as always. Thank you.
As people began connecting the dots, the internet did what it does best. It went digging. Old photos resurfaced, archived interviews were clipped and reposted, and timelines were dissected. Fans revisited when Bianca first met Jay-Z, debating her age at the time and what that meant in the context of industry power dynamics. The conversation quickly expanded beyond a single document reference into a wider discussion about influence, mentorship, and age gaps in entertainment. When Gene Deal added his voice, it layered even more intensity onto an already volatile moment, shifting the narrative into something much broader than where it began.
Looking at Jay, right? How you feel about that statement that him and his lawyer came in?
Well, I think that his lawyer did a great job, somewhat, with the information that he had. I know people in the industry, been around for a long time, was there when he first started dating Beyonce at 17, 18, he was 30-something. You didn't know his age. When I look back and see how old Jay-Z was, I think Jay-Z was born in like 69 or 67, something like that, 67 right there, 69. I think he was born in 69. Beyonce, they say she was born in 81. You understand? But back then, in 81, when we was in the club together, 98, 99, she wasn't even supposed to be in the club, but she was in the club. It was Club Eugene. And Jay was dating her. And at that time, if you look at Jay's age, he was about 30 years old. So, isn't she still somewhat a child? To me, she is. But I guess they protect child. That's how you protect a child, dating them at the age of 30-some years old, and she's 17, 18 years old. If that's her true age. We really don't know her true age because Gabrielle Union said she went to junior high school with her, and Gabrielle Union is considered 6, 7 years older than Beyonce age that she getting. So we really don't know.
As the story kept trending, the digital fallout became hard to ignore. Tracking pages began reporting that Jay-Z and Beyonce had each lost thousands of followers in just a few days. In today's industry, that's not just vanity metrics, it's real-time public sentiment. When numbers dip suddenly, people read it as a shift in perception, whether temporary or lasting.
To several different sites. According to Social Blade, Beyonce's actually been losing followers consistently for over a year now. In the past 30 days alone, she's lost around 300,000 followers. Definitely nowhere near 10 million like I've been reading online. And according to another Instagram analytics site, they have it that she has lost about 200K. Now, something that is weird though is whenever you go to look up Jay-Z on any of these sites to look up the stats of his Instagram, it just says that his account doesn't exist or like the user doesn't exist. So I don't know what's going on there. But there have also been people that have been throwing around a screenshot saying that he's dipped below even 1 million followers. Like I kept seeing this screenshot go around. But the craziest part is that all of these screenshots of them losing followers following the Epstein files mention are actually from 2024, from when Diddy was arrested. Back then, someone posted on Threads saying both Beyonce and Jay-Z losing around 4 million followers on Instagram in 3 days following Diddy's arrest. Oh, this is bad. And you can see like these are the screenshots that we are seeing go around right now, except they're from 2024. Under this thread, someone had also said he's at 302K now. So though not wrong that they're
Super Bowl Sunday is a family affair for Jay-Z with daughters Blue Ivy and Rumi Carter by his side. On February 8th, the music mogul whose company Roc Nation is overseeing the halftime show for the 7th year in a row has some very special VIPs join him for Super Bowl 60 at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. 14-year-old Blue Ivy arrives ready to celebrate, jumping for joy in photos while wearing a black Letterman jacket, sunglasses, and jeans. Little sister 8-year-old Rumi kept it adorable in a white tee and a pink bunny backpack. Beyonce, who also shares Rumi's twin brother Sir with Jay-Z, sits this one out, making it a sweet dad and daughter's day. And this has become a Super Bowl tradition for the trio. Blue and Rumi also stepped out with their dad back in 2024 for the big game in Las Vegas, walking hand in hand on the field with Rumi waving to fans like a natural.
Jay-Z came out with his children. No show for Beyonce. Don't know why she didn't attend. I'm really confused. People are saying because she's having issues with Jay-Z, but when it's time for a united front, the Carters know how to play that card very well. So I don't think that them having any issues would reflect on the Super Bowl. Perhaps she just wanted to sit this out. Perhaps it was a stronger PR message. To be honest with you, I think Jay-Z runs that relationship anyways. I don't think she really has a say in most outside of, artist direction of her career, if you want to call it that. But I think that it's also more powerful PR-wise for Jay-Z to be seen with his children in the moment of time where these Epstein saga is all happening. It's quite similar to last year with the Busby lawsuit. They know how to maneuver. So they've learned from that. And it's the same time, era, first quarter of the year. And so I guess it's more powerful for Jay-Z to be seen with his two daughters. and him playing more of the father figure is what these images give, as opposed to Beyonce also being there. You could say that with Beyonce there gives a family unit. Whilst I agree, I do think that PR-wise, this would be more powerful, showing him with his daughters. But again, he's wearing that statement. The game needs me. He's come to repeat that to remind people that he's not going anywhere. I still run, the NFL. The NFL are posting everything about me. My daughters are here looking beautiful. I'm playing Father of the Year. You guys can't get rid of me as much as you want to, whatever targets are on my back. So this is, again, another strong message that Jay-Z is putting forward. And of course, he would use the Super Bowl to do this because all eyes are on the Super Bowl. It's one of the most watched events in the world.
The narrative has also taken another sharp turn. Old clips of Harvey Weinstein resurfaced, including moments where he publicly referred to Jay-Z as a friend and appeared to defend him. That history has complicated recent claims and reignited debate online. Some argue the internet is stitching together fragments that don't necessarily form a complete picture. Others believe these resurfaced connections could signal something deeper brewing beneath the surface. So what do you think? Is this social media running ahead of the facts or the early signs of a broader industry reckoning? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And as always, keep it real.